The Broncos looked like their true selves against the Bengals yesterday. This is your Denver Sports Daily for September 30th.
The biggest stories, the latest news. It's Denver Sports Daily.
Finally, a Broncos win that most people can feel proud about, happy about, maybe a little bit more secure in this team. But hold on just a little bit, because we do have to remember that this team they beat yesterday was not good. They were not great. We're not going out there and beating the Eagles quite yet. But right now, what we witnessed yesterday was a team that has a newfound confidence, a security feeling within the team itself. They know that they can go out there and win. You know, you get a huge win like this, you beat the Bengals 28-3. That leads to good things down the road, because you know you're not hanging with the bottom of the scrub pool. You know you're not down at the bottom tier. You are above the Bengals right now. They made the most of that opportunity they had against the injured Bengals team. And even if the Bengals are bad, if they never stood a chance, you went out there and you did your job. There are plenty of times where teams go up against other teams like this and they lose. They lose because they're not expecting to have to put up a real fight. The Broncos went out there and they played their hardest and they dominated the Bengals. Complete dominance, utter dominance. Bo Nix finally had a game that can ease people's nerves. He went 29 of 42, 326 passing yards, and 3 total touchdowns. Now, one thing I didn't say there, and you will notice on the stat sheet, is that he did throw his 4th interception of the season. So not great by any means, but 3 total touchdowns. He just boosted his numbers up to 7 total passing touchdowns so far in the year. So he's having a solid year overall. You see his first game, he's got 326 passing yards. The first game of the season, over 300 yards. Finally, a great game from Bo. This is what we've come to know from him. Last season, we had gotten used to numbers similar to these, and now it looks like they can come back. Now, again, what you will notice in those stats right there, 42 passing attempts. That's a lot of passing attempts. That's a lot of, the ball going up in the air. But part of that comes from the fact that the Broncos defense was stopping the Bengals incredibly. And I'll get into that in a second, but just keep an eye on how many passing attempts he actually had. Now, the run game for the Broncos was established early and used often. It was ran very well. They were going out there and having a diversity in running backs actually, taking the ball. They had 38 total carries for the team, were 186 total yards. You maybe want a little bit more yards. You want to look at over, 200 if you have 38 carries, but 186 yards on 38 total carries. You're looking at around 5 yards per carry. Now, J.K. Dobbins led the attack for the Broncos with 16 carries for 101 yards. Great overall. The dominance on the offensive side of the football, you end up winning. You put up 28 points. That's a great offensive output. If you can get 4 touchdowns on the board, not be stopped to any field goals, just straight touchdowns, that's a recipe to success. And they went out and they used that recipe, and look what they cooked up. Now, the Broncos defense looked unstoppable. They didn't allow any points after the opening drive field goal in the game. The Cincinnati Bengals had the ball, immediately go down, kick a field goal. They look like they might be putting up a little bit of a fight, but after that, they didn't even sniff the end zone. Not another point for the rest of the game. And that Broncos defense was led by Nick Bonito, who looked great last night, recording 1.5 sacks and a tackle for loss and 2 QB hits. And then, of course, the battle between Jamar Chase and PS2 ended with a victory for Pat. At least that's what the scoreboard says, as Jamar Chase was held to only 5 catches on 8 targets for only 23 yards. Jamar was in a box. Jamar was absolutely in a box. Couldn't do anything against PS2. Didn't look like the Jamar Chase that we knew from last year, winning the Triple Crown. I know all you fantasy users that have him on your team are feeling a little bit upset about how he's been this year, but going up against Pat Surtain this week, you knew he wasn't going to be doing well at all. Now, the Broncos advanced to 2-2, and they are getting ready for what could be and what should be their toughest matchup all year against Philadelphia, the Eagles. They are going to Philly to play this Eagles team. Will be the toughest matchup they have seen so far, But will it be the toughest matchup that they're going to see all year? I certainly think so. I really do believe that the Philadelphia Eagles are going back to the Super Bowl. So maybe this will be a great chance for the Broncos to go out there and really show what they're made of, because if they can go get a win here, then people will really start putting them on the radar. But we'll have to wait till next week to see how that game comes out. But there is more to talk about, because yesterday we had Nuggets Media Day, and Nikola Jokic and the rest of the Nuggets team had a lot to say. Now, Nuggets Media Day was yesterday, and after a very busy offseason, of course, the players had a lot to say. I mean, you look at what happened this offseason, you bring back Bruce Brown, you got Jonas Valanciunas, Cam Johnson comes in for MPJ. There were so many things to talk about, and unfortunately, I can only pick three different quotes here to talk about, but these are the ones that really stuck out to me. You hear about Nikola Jokic. Just to premise the first one, Nikola Jokic this offseason didn't sign his contract extension. People were a little bit shocked about this. I wasn't, because he's going to in the end. It's just one of those money things where he wants to end up making more money. He was asked about not signing it, though, and why he chose not to sign it. And he said, quote, "I don't think about it. I think those contract extensions comes as a reward, as something that is natural to the sport, especially in today's NBA. How you see how the salary cap is going and everything." He then followed up with, "My plan is to be a Nugget forever." So that's my answer. Now, it may sound kind of strange. Of course, Nikola Jokic, you got the accent, speaks a little differently. But there we are hearing Nikola Jokic basically say, he doesn't want to sign this year because he wants to see what it's going to look like next year. And then he alleviated Nuggets fans by saying he wants to be a Nugget forever. I mean, can you ask for anything more? No sign from Nikola Jokic has ever pushed me to the side saying he doesn't want to be a Nugget. I've never had that thought about Nikola Jokic where he doesn't want to be in Denver. The only thing I've ever thought about Nikola Jokic is that he wants to be a Nugget. So it's really good to see him go out there in front of the cameras and with the mic in his face, telling the people that he does want to be a Nugget. Bruce Brown also got the chance to be welcomed back to Denver, and he spoke about why he wanted to come back so badly, saying, quote, "I was like, I don't care how much. If I get somewhere more, I don't care. I'm just going to go back to Denver because I just think it's a perfect fit for me in terms of playing style. And I mean, I want to win again, right? So I think it was pretty quick answer for me once I found out that they wanted me back." How can you not want to come back to Denver, Brucey B? I mean, how can you not? It's the best. I mean, first of all, you won a championship here. Second of all, the fans don't love anybody more than you. Third of all, you're a Cowboy. Why would you not want to come to the West? It's the perfect fit for him. Bruce Brown coming back to Denver is huge. Now, what I will say is don't expect the same output that we saw from him back in the championship season. However, do expect a great bench this year with him leading the charge. The bench unit in the past several years has not been good. Arguably the best bench was back in the championship season when he had Reggie Jackson, he had Bruce Brown, those guys in the back, on the bench, taking the 6-man and 7-man spot. With Bruce Brown back, with Tim Hardaway Jr., Jonas Valanciunas, these guys on the bench are going to lead to another championship. And Bruce Brown seems to know that, and he really is just happy to be back. And I can't be happier, honestly. I love Bruce Brown so much. I love what he did for this city when he was here, and he's really just one of those glue guys that leads to championships. Now, Jonas Valanciunas also got the chance to speak with the media and clear the air after a strange offseason debacle where he was maybe going to go to Greece, maybe he was going to come to Denver. Nobody really knew, but Denver ended up getting him to come here. He said, quote, "One thing I want to clarify is I'm here. I'm happy to be here. I'm going to dive in to win more games than ever. So I think we have a great opportunity to compete for the highest level." Yeah, come on. Come on, Jonas. We got him in this place. This is the first time Nikola Jokic has had a real, true backup center in his MVP era. DeAndre Jordan, gotta love the guy, but that man's a coach. He's not a player. That man is a coach. So you have a real opportunity to do something now. You can take Nikola Jokic off the floor, not make him have to play 80% of every single game. He doesn't have to, because Jonas Valanciunas is able to come in and operate at a level similar to Jokic's. And I've said it before. I said it last year, and people think that it's weird, but I don't want Nikola Jokic to win his 4th MVP. I don't want him to. I want the team to be good and built around him. I want the other players on this team to be able to compete and take the load off of him. I want Jonas Valanciunas to be playing 50% of the games because we're winning with him. I want Jamal Murray to take away Nikola Jokic's assists because I want him to be running the ball and being able to pass the ball as well. I want Cam Johnson to be able to score and rebound so that Nikola Jokic doesn't have to every single play. That is my dream for this Nuggets team. And I think that what they have here is a team built to win a championship, a team better crafted than that championship squad. And we'll just have to wait and see what it looks like come the regular season because I am so high on this team. I cannot be higher. But that'll do it for your Denver Sports Daily. I do want to see some of your comments. Good morning, Joey. Nice to wake up to a win on my birthday. Happy birthday, Roy. Thanks for coming to the show. Always great to see you. Happy birthday. Real happy birthday. I'm glad it was a good one. You know, with the Broncos win, I don't know how it could get much better, but I'm sure you are, you're going to have a great day. I hope you do. Nice Z, you are annoying. Thank you, Nice Z, for watching the show. I really appreciate your comment. But that'll do it for your Denver Sports Daily. I will be back with you guys again tomorrow, talking more about what the Broncos are going to do to get ready for this Philly game coming up. But that'll do it for your Denver Sports Daily. I'll be back with you guys again tomorrow. Until then, y'all have a great rest of your day. Bye, y'all.